This is kind of the stuff that I usually start off with. So this one I believe is a 1946 CJ2A. The story goes is that the guy I bought it from does yard work, and they gave him the Jeep for free if they cleaned out some logs and wood out of their yard. And apparently the Jeep ran and drove great, like they all said. About 12 years ago, and then one of these wheel bearings went out, so they parked the Jeep, and then that's where it sat. This one's actually in pretty good shape. Can't see right now, but the floors are there. They're patched up, but there's still something. The steering column was taken out for another project the guy I bought it from had going on. So it's moving all right, so I got hopes for it. And the second Jeep is sitting out back. So I got both Jeeps ready to go in the shop here. And I put one of the Golden Eagle rims on this Jeep to kind of see what it looks like. I think it looks pretty good. So we got that side ready to roll. Maybe get some air over there. So I was just going to put a different drum on here. But the spindle nuts are actually still on the axle. See, what happens is a drum goes over and covers the brake pad area, and these nuts are what holds it on. But the nuts are still on, and you can see they are rusted together. And then we could just take one of the shafts out of that Jeep, because I don't have a spare front axle to steal parts out of. Another thing I'm pretty sad about, it was late, raining, and I was all giddy. The spark plugs were sitting in here like this, and I did not realize they were broken in half, which means that this engine has 4 open holes, and when it rains, it so conveniently drains right into here. So I was trying to get the head off the engine, wouldn't come off. Can't see it anymore, but water was just pouring out of the side here. So I was trying to get the head off the engine and just see what kind of condition the block's even in. Oh, it looks so much better. It's liberated. We got a crack right there we need to address. Oh, and this is my favorite modification. You know, a little styrofoam battery tray action. About taking the engine out of this one. You can see this thing's full of mouse nest crap. The only thing we need off of this frame now is going to be the steering system, which will be this whole shaft, the steering box, and the other Jeep just has this piece, so let me pop that off of there. And then we are also going to take this exhaust, which is just now being held on by a hanger down there underneath that axle I have strapped on. I'm going to put the last 3 Golden Eagle CJ5 tires and rims onto this CJ2A. Beautiful retread tires. Oh yeah. Nice and high quality. And the last thing I want to do tonight, address this little issue with the frame, because it is unsafe to drive at the moment. And it looks like that one's already been patched at the same spot. So I'm gonna guess this front bumper got hit pretty hard and snapped off both sides. You're about to witness some great stuff here. Oh yeah, that's about perfect if I've ever seen it. Nice and straight. Well, maybe by the time I'm done with it, it'll be a concourse quality vehicle. But this will at least make the Jeep drivable, safe, and the next owners can decide what they're gonna do. But since the frame's got so many repairs on it, I think it won't be terrible. Such patina here. You won't want to restore this. It took 50 years, 70 years for Mother Nature to do this. You don't want to just restore that. You gotta respect it, right? Alright, so the gasket's ready. Make sure you go ahead and tighten this really well because someone's life could be depending on it. We have to put in some gear oil. This is what you want to use on everything on the Jeep. Your axles, your tranny, your transfer case, and steering box. This is just straight 90 gear oil. It's called GL-1. And this does not have additives that eat brass, which normal oils will do. You do not want to get this on your clothes because the moment it's on your clothes, they will smell forever. I have dedicated shirts I use for draining trannies and refilling them. It's ridiculous. We can see just where the engine is. Right now, we're a little too far over to the right, and our height is about good actually. Now, sometimes with the forklift, this is pretty hard to do, so I might have to pull on it and move it back. A few hours ago, we went from a soulless, steerless Jeep, and now she has a purpose. Look at that. A Go Devil of glory. I almost forgot. We now have a fully wired engine. I copied the diagram off the other Jeep, and then I made all new wires for this system because we had to cut the wires to get this off the other Jeep, and using wires already in it is not a good idea. So I made this as clean as I could, and I think it looks pretty good actually. This is how you make a Jeep look really nice from the front angle when you're doing pictures. Lipstick on a pig. Yeah. We got the radiator hooked up, all the hoses. We got the fuel line hooked up to there, and I found out the gas tank has a hole in the bottom, so I conveniently added this little one through the little rust hole on the floor. Alright, so we got no sparks so far, which is good. We will see if it will fire up. Oh yeah, we are rolling now. Other than that, I'd say the engine bay is clean and ready to go. So I can go ahead and shut the hood. I've already checked the oil and the antifreeze. Oh, that seems to be pretty good. Last night we went, cleaned out the inside of the Jeep. Got to see what the floor looks like for the first time. Normally this is the first step I do, but since it's been so cold, I just didn't have the motivation. So we're gonna take it out and do a little testing. Look at that gorgeous painted radiator. Took pictures with our Nikon here for our Craigslist ad, and I am officially deeming this Jeep finished. I've got it parked outside here. It doesn't need to be in the shop anymore. It can run and drive by itself. And we did a lot of work to this Jeep. The whole engine swap, the clutch ordeal, the steering box, the frame repair. Oh, what else did we do? We cleaned the thing out. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed bringing this thing back to the dead. We gave it a soul and a purpose. We gotta say one last goodbye to the Logging 2A here. She served us well.